Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar series. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar series hosted by the Organization Development and Change, Workforce Education and Development Program at Penn State. This part of our monthly lunch hour series. My name is Marcia Reumel, and I'm a doctoral student in the Workforce Education and Development Program at the Pennsylvania State University. I will be your moderator today, and I will moderating today's webinars along with my colleagues Asa Al-Hajri, who is also in the same program, and Jose Sandoval, a PhD candidate in the Learning Design and Technology program at Penn State. For today's interactive webinars format, please use the chat feature in the Zoom. If you have any questions during the presentation, type them in the chat. The Q&A session will follow at the end of the presentation. So if you have questions, you can just put them in the chat during the presentation, but we will, or the presenter will answer them after the presentation. Our online Master of Professional Studies in Organization Development and Change is designed for professionals seeking the skills and knowledge to lead organizational change effectively. Additionally, we offer master's and PhD programs in the workforce education and development with concentrations in human resource development and organization development. Our program has established a continuous monthly free series featuring experts from around the globe. Today, we are excited to present the role of coaching and coaching culture in organization development presented by Dr. Benham Bakshande. This webinar is grounded in the book, The Foundation of Organization Culture, Creating Effective Environment for Growing and Success in Organizations, authored by Dr. William Rothwell and Dr. Benham Bakshande, who is our presenter today. Dr. Benham Bakshande is the founder and president of Primeco Education, a coaching and consulting firm. He is a successful business professional and executive coach, as well as a dynamic writer and speaker with over 3 decades of experience in personal and professional development. Dr. Bakshande has authored numerous publications on organizational development interventions, high performance coaching, transformational coaching skills, skill gaps, emotional intelligence, and organizational coaching. The agenda for today is that Dr. Bakshande shall talk about some related definitions, the prevalence of coaching, the type of coaching and coaching delivery approaches, use of coaching in management and leadership development, coaching culture improves organization development effectiveness, coaching cultures as a developmental undertaking, strategic planning, vision, mission, and principles. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming our speaker today, Dr. Bakshande Benham. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Marcia. I certainly appreciate your kind introduction. Everybody, welcome to this webinar. Before anything, as you can recognize from my accent, I'm from out of town. I'm born and raised in Iran. I was 29 years old when I immigrated to the United States, and that was April 22nd, 1986. I was not speaking English, and I had $100 in my pocket. I hope you appreciate the difficulty that somebody like me bring himself to this level. And I did my first public speaking 7 years later in Los Angeles, and then published my first book on 2009. So I am in this business of coaching and consulting for 31 years now. And I gotta tell you, it's very hard to condense everything that I want to tell you about the role of coaching in organization development in a 60 minutes webinar, which actually got to be 50 minutes because we have spent 5 minutes in the front, we are spending 5-10 minutes in the end. So I might go through this slide with velocity. However, I made a request of Marsha and her team to provide you and all the other participants in this webinar with a copy of the handout, PDF version of this presentation. All right. I'm a graduate of OD&C Master's Program and Workforce Education Program from Penn State. I intentionally, today, I wear my golf shirt of, what you call it, the World Campus. I got my master's in OD&C from World Campus, and I'm proud member of this department. Let's go fast through some definitions so we can understand each other. When you hear coaching, and for years when I heard coaching, I immediately relate to it as a sport coaching, which is not a wrong definition. A coach who manage and support and bring the skills and competencies to a sporting team or a professional athlete. So what is coaching? This is from my own definition from my first book. A highly effective tool for individuals and organizations who choose to have their future realized now instead of someday. It is systematic but non-linear inquiry into one's authenticity. It is for healthy, ambitious, brave, and open-minded people who strive for excellence. You can change the context of this definition to a sport coaching and it still makes sense, right? Why I mention here is for people who want their future now, because you have met a lot of people who talk about their dreams, talk about their vision, talk about what they want. You have seen them in your own programs, in the master's programs or PhD programs. They come with a lot of vision, a lot of enthusiasm, but first, second, maybe third year, they quit under pressure of the work because they just relating as their future to their own personality and listening to their inner chatter about it's too hard, it's too expensive, I'm too old, I don't have time, I have to take care of family. All these coming to mind, right? It's not for people who wants everything easy. Coaching is hard. The coach will hold a mirror for you and ask you to look at this and say, this is who you are and this is what you have produced. How do you like it? If you want to change it, you have to going through a system. Why I mentioned for healthy people, because coaching is not about and is not for people who under professional treatment of psychologists or psychotherapists, because we don't want to interfere with that professional psychotherapist or therapist to entangle the participants in something that is not necessary. However, it is for some people who really committed to build their future. Here there is more definitions, one from Aronson, Rodbell, and Necton, using an interactive process to help individuals develop rapidly and produce results, improving others' ability to set goals, take action, make better decisions, and make full use of their natural strengths. There is so many other definitions available in the Google or internet that you can find, but for matter of time, I just go through this with faster, with more velocity, but please read the information on your handout. What is coaching culture? Coaching culture is like the atmosphere, environment. Imagine the wallpaper around all over your house. That background holding that environment together. Culture, exactly the way you know it. Every race has certain culture. Every nationality has certain culture. Every continent or every location have different culture. Even we have subcultures that kind of defining by age or interest, right? That create that culture. When people and groups when people and groups use coaching to improve their own mindset, attitude, and behaviors in the workplace by creating a formal or informal coaching relationship and collaboration, coaching cultures are being created. Here are more definitions of coaching culture. I'm just going to read the first one. The principles, beliefs, and mindsets driving people's behavior in the workplace and deeply rooted in the discipline of coaching. I'll tell you a short, cute story about culture. In my Iranian culture, telling somebody shut up is one of the highest insults, right? If you can really insulting someone by telling them shut up. In American culture, a spouse, good friend, close friends, close colleague, even as a joke, we tell each other, well, oh, shut up. And nobody gets offended because they really don't mean to insult you. My wife, American lady, in front of my parents, called me, oh, shut up. You gotta see my parents' face. They went white, right? They went like, wow, is she insulting you? So I just explained to them that there's a difference in the culture. She don't mean any insult. Actually, she means I love you, but stop talking. So that's a cute examples of difference in the culture and problems can raise inside that. What is organizational culture? The broad definition of organizational culture is all of the company's beliefs, values, and attitude, and how they affect how its people behave, or what it's like for a customer to purchase from a business, or for a supplier to cooperate with its influenced by culture. Now, you see the commercials in TV, you see the way people talk about certain culture, for example, how Google interfere with their staff and employees and how they empower them. Other companies, you heard that Starbucks providing some monetary support for their employees to go to college. All these things that this great company is providing is coming from the background of what? Their culture. More definition of organizational culture. I read the bottom one. An informal shared perspective on life and organization membership that unites people and shapes how they view themselves and their job. As Marsha explained at the beginning, the content of this webinar coming directly from the recent book that me and Dr. Rodwell been an editor of, Building Organizational Coaching Culture, published in England from Taylor and Francis, and being taught now in several colleges in England, and hopefully we can get it to Penn State also for managerial and for leadership courses. Get your hand on that book, and there is a lot of information on how to build a coaching culture. Let's go to part 2, the prevalence of coaching, types of coaching, and coaching delivery approach. There is a lot of statistics in the several of these slides. Again, I'm just going to mention one or two bullet points, and I leave it up to you to educate yourself by reviewing the PDF handout. The coaching prevalence. Coaching has emerged as an important area of expertise for managers and human resources professionals for at least 3 decades. So, but the fundamental of coaching and mentorship changed through these last 3 decades, and there is different avenues of coaching appears and arise in the background of the general coaching. But in 2004, former ASTD, which you know it now as ATD, Association of Talent Development, designate coaching as a specialized area, and they give certification for coaching. ICF, International Coaching Federation, also is another one that provides certification. But since the 1980s, many studies have been conducted on coaching in organizations. For example, this study shows that over 27% of organizations have effectively integrated professional business coaching in their talent development portfolios. In the last 31 years, ladies and gentlemen, I stopped actually counting the number of individuals that I work with throughout the organization. By end of year 2000 was 55,000 people, and that is 24 years ago. You can imagine. I don't know what the number is now, but it's a tremendous big number. Because now a lot of people using coaching. Now, look at the last bullet point. However, fewer than 46% of organizations have ignored coaching. This statistics in 2013, 11 years ago. I can say with confidence that in the last decade, actually, organizations and companies showed more interest to start the coaching, even one-on-one executive coaching or managerial coaching or group or team coaching if they don't want to go to the entire organization. But this is a trend that is growing fast. Here, more numbers here. 80% of employees engaged with coaching improves their communication, productivity, performance, and business management strategies. I can be the testimonial for this, that any companies that we start working with, at first it's going very slow, like a steam train. Choo, 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 till the steam really get to the train and diesel engines start providing a power for a train and pick up the velocity. For usually business owners or executives, they want results now. Make me more money, make my turnover to be lower, and make everybody to be more productive, and make everybody to communicate better. Yeah, good luck. I don't walk on the water. No coaches walk on the water. It takes time. I was always telling them, you destroy everything in 10, 20, 30 years, and you want me to fix it with the 3 meetings? Impossible. So usually the first quarter is slow. The second quarter results start showing, and the third quarter they are going. And I have a lot of statistics, personal statistics I can share with you. But when you get people to communicate, when we get managers and executives to use active listening, when we bring emotional intelligence, when we bring appreciative inquiry coaching, when we use action research model to organize the structure, the skeleton of the coaching, result start showing. You gotta trust the skeleton structure, the foundation of OD and appreciate inquiry. I'm using a lot of different coaching models and methods in my coachings, right? Which is kind of enhancing the combination. On my book, before this recent book, Transformational Coaching for Effective Leadership, I use integration coaching model, which is empowered by 5 different coaching approach together to build OD interventions. There's more information according to COTE-Z, a coaching survey conducted by Clear Coaching Limits in 2007 reported the following tangible benefits and increases in different areas from coaching programs by a large range of organizations. Developing new skills and improve existing skills, 50% increase. Team working relationship and connections by 50% increase. Notice and consider others' perspective, 47%, and much more than you can have it on your handout. This statistic is all for you to understand. Coaching is not just a pie in the sky. Coaching is not something we like to talk about and holding hands and singing Kumbaya. Coaching is hard because you have to go through some changes. And for any organization that want to really make a change from top to bottom, everybody have to start being involved with the coaching. I do not accept any OD contract with any companies if executives and top managers say, we don't want to be involved. Just work with the floor people, just with the foreman and supervisors, and everything will be fine. I would tell them, absolutely not. Everything will start from you. Because if you're not buying into the power of coaching and the miracles that it can produce, you will be in my way for producing that results because you are not involved. So you have to be on a one-on-one coaching to understand what we are doing in your organization and be part of. Let's look at the types of coaching. Coaching in general categorized by two major categories, right? Areas, personal coaching and professional coaching. These are some examples of personal coaching. I know in OD, we don't get with people in the personal level, but just the general information for you to know. You all have heard life coaching or couples coaching that we are working with people, they are married or they're domestic relationship or they are in committed relationship. Relationship coaching, which is covered the couples coaching, and we work on, I use relationship coaching in the OD intervention also. Because as you know, all organizations made by individuals, if there is a crack in a relationship between a foreman and the floor people, you have a problem. If there is no effectiveness between supervisors and foremen, managers and supervisors, you see the impact and importance of the relationship coaching. Health and velocity coaching, that a lot of people who use health coaching and exercise coaching and diet coaching using. Wealth and financial coaching, spirituality coaching, and mentorship. Here are some examples of professional coaching. Business coaching could be working with one owner of the business. I call it practitioner business, which is one person running the business, or have a small team. Managers coaching, which is working with the manager of the business or manager of department. Executive coaching, which is in the definition of professional, executive coachings are for senior managers. However, in the general concept of coaching in the market, even some people call one-on-one personal coaching and executive coaching. So you were seeing that definition differently. Career coaching, leadership development coaching, team building, performance coaching, communication coaching, vision, mission, and values coaching, strategy and goal setting coaching, feedback coaching, and performance coaching. Actually, Dr. Rodwell and I wrote a book about high performance coaching for managers, published in 2022 by Taylor and Francis. That's another great book you can put your hand on. Coaching delivery approach. There are two general approaches to coaching delivery, right? One is directive coaching, and one is non-directive coaching. The matter of which one is better or more effective than the other is not the topic of this segment. But just to compare the two delivery approaches side by side, and then underline the delivery approach that would be fit for use by high-performance coach and manager, or manager as a coach. Let's look at it side by side. Non-directive coaching, also known as asking coaching. Directive coaching, known as telling coaching. Non-directive coaching characteristics: one is open inquiries and ask questions. This is something that I do on the personal level when I do personal coaching. Sometimes even in the OD coaching that I provide, I use non-directive coaching side by directive coaching. By opening inquiry and ask question, the coachee will start thinking, right? And that improves their mindset and their awareness of themselves. Suddenly they see the difference between their fixed mindset, everything is that way, we always did it this way always work. I work 2 years with the 5th largest meat packing company in the United States that's located in Pennsylvania. The owner and CEO of company, a gentleman who started this business from the home, from the garage, right? And now become this big, 5 different locations, over 700 employees. And this gentleman was fighting with me about, we always did it this way. Don't change this approach. Don't change that approach. It always worked. It always done this way. Okay. However, this gentleman have a beautiful car collection. Lovely, lovely looking 1940s, 50s, 60s car. I fall in love with the 1957 Chevy. Beautiful, beautiful. And I asked him, such and such, are you riding in these cars? He said, yeah, with this 57, I actually take my bride and we go around the town and circulate in and enjoying the ride. I said, have you ever drove it to Pittsburgh, other side of Pennsylvania? He said, no. I said, why not? He said, it's old. Sometimes it might not work. And if we have a problem with it, I cannot fix it. I said, bingo. Here, like your processes and procedures, that they all 1960s and 70s. They are old for the year 2020, for God's sake. You have to change them. It's good for little project, little process, not for this wide, nationwide process. That example really adds to his mindset and his awareness that everything that worked 50, 60, 40 years ago, not necessarily work now. That's the difference between fixed mindset and open growth mindset. In the non-directive coaching, ask coaches to come with a solution. How? By opening inquiry to the issues, which is, I can say with absolute confidence, the issues that they're talking about mostly are the symptoms of much deeper problem, which they either they don't know, they're not aware, or they're not willing to touch. But when you open inquiry and asking questions and the awareness, they can come with a solution that the coach's job is to open a space for them, give them coaching models, tools, and action plans, and manage the action plans so they can produce the results. And for non-directive coaching, the coach is not necessarily a subject matter expert. Like, I had no idea about meat processing. I have no idea about hair salons, but I coach a lot of hair salons. I coach automobile dealerships. I coach real estate people, many, many industries, which is irrelevant to me what they do. What I do for them is open their mind to see who they are being, effective what they are doing. Directive coaching or telling provide corrective actions, provide advice and guides, and tell coaches what to do. And they are subject matter expert. Like if you are working with a machine in the machinery side, directive coaching is somebody who knows the machine, have experience, and knows how the process works. Let's look at this. Using of coaching in management and leadership development. Coaching can be used in many different formats. Here the list of, coaching could develop managerial skills among managers in organizations. When used in this way, coaching can directly affect individuals and team productivity. Look at this. Managerial skills, developmental skills, managerial coaching skills and competencies, leadership qualities of effective managers, and talent development and retentions, which you can see all of these and then more can be used on organizational development interventions. Let's look at the part 3. Coaching culture improves OD effectiveness. These are all from the book. Coaching culture is a developmental undertaking. By itself, coaching and coaching culture production is part of the developing people. Start from inner framework and mindset or being, as you heard me saying, we are working on who people are being in a moment while producing results. Are you happy or are you resentful? Are you regretful or are you open-minded? Are you coming 8 o'clock at work acting tired or are you happy coming to work? These are all different states of being. So we work on values and principles of the company, vision and mission of the company, being and purpose of working, responsibility, accountability, attitude, behavior, strengths and weakness as part of SWOT analysis, which bring us to preparations and activities of working, which is doing. Being is about management, doing is about working. I'm sorry, being is about leadership, doing is about management. Put them side by side. Leadership, being, working and management, doing. Doing and working, planning, performance, becoming self-awareness, understanding, learning, creating a partnership. For every of these bullet points, I can write a chapter about. That's why I am more interested that you guys start reading material. Other framework or results will be possibilities for everyone, opportunities for everyone, productivity, reputation for the company, collaboration with other companies, developmental and talent retention, changing a rotating door of the company that people coming and going, versus keeping your talent and retaining them. This metaphor I learned from this book, Culturback ETAL 2016, which by end of this webinar, all these references are there for your use. This tree with its root and the trunk and the branches and leaves representing what coaching culture is and what coaching culture can produce. The core mindset and outlooks, as I show you on the last slide, is the root of the organization. Fundamental undertaking operational principles, which I mentioned on the last slide, is the trunk and the strong branches of the tree. What people see is observable expressions of the company, the outlook, the reputation, their involvement in the community, their corporate responsibility. That is what society, community, and individuals look at to either buy their product, involve with the organization, or even put the application for work in that organization. It's all these observable expressions. Now, core mindset and outlook are core values, principles, their commitment, vision, mission, beliefs, ethics, and policies, which bring you to fundamental underlying operational principles, which is relationship, effective communication, active listening, learning, respect, fairness, camaraderie, and talent development, which the observable expression will be the processes, management, productivity, performance, attitude, behaviors, scale, and competencies. Now, let's look at this. Characteristics of an organization with an established coaching culture. They have sharing values and vision. They're welcoming coaching. They're welcoming diversity, sharing commitment to inquiry, sharing workability, exchange knowledge, being open to learning, defining their problems, welcoming accountabilities, and sacrificing individual interests for the team outcome. Now, here are some points that crucial components of creating a coaching culture. What possibly would be in the way of coaching culture? Senior managers need to encourage and support a coaching culture across the entire company, not even talking about it, but be involved with it. A coaching framework should focus on the efforts of senior managers across all departments. Managers and workers should talk and act to support coaching, talking to each other in the forum and sharing what they learn. Organization leaders must express robust personal commitment by conducting role-playing and developing their skills as an example of coaching workability. Again, I apologize that I go through these concepts very fast, but as I said, we cannot fit 30 years in 50 minutes. Here, coaching culture builds exceptional organization. I showed this pyramid about how these contents are relating to each other and build the exceptional organization. Starting from having an empowering vision, workable mission, and principal values. On the next slide, we are talking about this. Establishment of coaching framework, environment of partnership between senior manager, junior manager, lower manager, and supervisors. Environment of learning and development, by people have access to an archive in the company for learning material. Encouragement and support of senior management, supportive of active conversation, development of skills and competencies, and providing the culture of acknowledgement and appreciation. You're not going to believe how effective a simple thank you or please or what a good job can make. Here are the advantages of an organization coaching culture. The growing enthusiasm for goal setting, dedication, and attitude of achievement. Enhanced performance and productivity of both individuals and teams. The rest you can read on your handouts because the time is short and I gotta go through all the slides. Here, possible abstraction for a workforce coaching culture. The current culture of the company, a lack of clarity around the principles and values of coaching, underestimating the value of a coaching culture for the company, the oppositions of the senior management, and the idea that it would be expensive or unless useless to create such a coaching culture. I always tell these people, you think coaching and learning and education is expensive? Wait for you to receive a bill for ignorance. The general lack of experience, knowledge, and abilities among the organizational managers, and a belief that the work is not supported by enough time, money, or other resources. Let's look at strategic planning. What is vision, mission, and principles? The strategic planning is something that organizational leaders develop in advance for their future by creating a vision, by looking at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years out. This is a really highly effective organization techniques. But your strategic planning have to have a strong link to the company's vision and mission. Vision statement is people vision serve as an anchor to help them focus their thoughts, feelings, and actions positively in their personal and professional lives. The same thing is true for organization visions. Vision organizations can develop their visions in a variety of ways. What do we stand for and who are we? Creating an organization vision is the answer to these questions. What do we create and what do we believe in? What is the goal for our company? What are the fundamental beliefs we uphold? How do we interact with one another? How do we interact with our customers or clients? But mission statement, which is the doing part of vision statement is who we are being, and mission statement is what are we doing. A mission statement provides a succinct descriptions of the organization's purpose. It outlines the goal and overarching objectives of the organization. The organization's identity, product, target, market, and a specific emphasis on techniques or technology are all described on the mission statement. Vision, who we are being. Mission, what we are doing and how we are doing it. Effective organization strategic planning. A comprehensive and effective organization strategic planning features the strategies listed below. Emphasizing values and core principles, distinguishing vision statement, defining mission statement, establishing desired outcomes, having a clear and precise goals, displaying management structure, asserting defined accountabilities, and determining prominent key performance indications. Now, this is the 6 steps on business operation. Start from bottom, from visioning, then planning that vision, scheduling the activities, implementing, working, and producing. However, this 4 is all about doing, is mission. On the mission statement, you coach people to plan, schedule, implement, and work. On the vision statement, the leadership from the vision in the future and producing results through these actions to empower this vision. However, your mindset, the people's mindset, attitude, behavior, and performance have a direct influence and correlation on building a culture. That's why we start from who you are being. What is your mindset? How you see in the world? How do you relate to yourself? How do you relate to other people? How do you relate to concept of working? How is your relationship with people that you have to report to? Because that mindset gives you your attitude, and your attitude determines your behavior, which affect your performance. Simple example, you're going home and you're tired and you're resentful and you don't want to participate in anything, and your spouse asking you, how was your day? And you say, oh, leave me alone. It was so hard. That is a simple example of how mindset affecting performance. I can talk 2 days just about this. Let's go through the summary. So in this webinar, we went through some related definitions, the prevalence of coaching, and some statistics, which I hope you will use the handout and keep informing yourself. Type of coaching and coaching delivery approaches, use of coaching in management and leadership development, coaching culture, how coaching culture improves OD effectiveness, coaching culture as a developmental undertaking, and a strategic planning vision, mission, and principles. Again, I understand this is a lot of information in a short time. This was like you say you are thirsty and I opened 4-inch fire hydrant on you. How much of it you can absorb? So go back and use the PowerPoint handouts. Go Google this information. Get your hands on the books that we are talking about in these webinars. Building organization culture, transformational coaching for effective leadership, high performance coaching for managers. If you want to build yourself as an informed and professional coach or consultant after you graduate or during your study, these books designed to empower you. Now we're going to go through questions and answers. However, before that, while I'm answering your questions, I would like you to have this information. Is my direct email and my cell phone. I provided for you to empower you. If you want to contact me to get more information, please don't abuse it and send me a spam or promote your business or whatever you're selling. But if you want more information, I am at your service. Okay, Marsha, as I promised you, I give you at least 10 minutes in the end. I drove this baby, so we have another 12 minutes for anybody who have a question. And in the end, I provided you with all the references I used for you to get your hand on. I'm all yours.
Thank you, Professor Benham. We have 2 questions in the chat. The first one is, many organizations still use coaching as a remediation tool, which sets up a negative perceptions of coaching. What can organization development professional do to change this perception? That's the first question.
By being professional, by delivering your coaching methods and models, by adding references, by using already proven theories. Ladies and gentlemen, when I sign up for my master's program with OD&C, I was already doing my work for 24 years. So what make me wanting to come and get a mastery? I already had a master's on engineering. So I'll come and get a master's in OD&C to go get my PhD on workforce education. Why? Because of some of this negative impression that by created anybody who and their mother who called themselves a coach just to lift people's spirit and just you just made them excited for 2 days. But being to, especially on master's and PhD program in Penn State on workforce education, I add scientific and academic support and foundation for my work. Now I just not say I did this for 20 years and working. I say, here are the models, here are the research, here are the numbers, and it's working, and use it. So the best way is to not making the negativity wrong, but prove to them that they can actually learn by using proven methods and proven theoretical and proven models. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Professor. We have another question. ICF coaching certifications usually focus on what you have defined as non-directive coaching and asking powerful questions. Can you speak a little bit about coaching certification such as ICF training programs?
Sure. I am not a member of ICF, nor member of any other coaching certifications. I'm a, what do you call it, place driven. I have certified 17 coaching modulars in Library of Congress with my name. It's copyrighted with me. I approximately 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I approached ICF and interviewed them. They said you are qualified for master's coach level. But I didn't like their approach, which they're emphasizing only a non-directive. And they call in directive coaching consulting. I disagree with that. Sometimes you need to do some directive coaching to some professionals to really teach their skills and competencies. I recommend ICF certification for people who start personal coaching, life coaching, couples coaching, relationship coaching, communication coaching. I find them working that level. And I don't want to put any organization that provide certification down. That's not my intent to do that. But I'm just saying, over 31 years experience, and Dr. Rodwell in many occasions agreed with me that sometimes we have to add directive coaching to be effective for some certain level of coaching with professionals. So I would recommend utilize ICF certification if you want to start personal coaching. But some people on the professional industries need more than just inquiry. That's why we call what we do coaching and consulting. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you for that answer. We have a few more questions in the chat. I will read two questions because of time. Maybe you can answer those questions. Yes. Help us to understand the feasibility of coaching culture for large versus small organization. And the other question is, explain how organization development professional can coach effectively, but how do organizations help individuals participate in coaching process effectively?
Okay, this is three questions. I do my best. The first one is differentiation between a small business and larger business, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, by definition of government and labor and work department, when you say a small business goes up to $10 million annually or over 150 employees. So a small business, one person who cut hair is a small business, which we call it family individual business, or go to a $10 million a year business, right? But between you have all these differentiation. For a small business who 1, 2, 3, 5 people running it, 10 people running it, 20 people running it, the mindset of owner, CEO, or senior manager is everything. If you get them to see the quality of coaching and you get them to see the wisdom of coaching, and that can build up by you have a good testimonials and record of what you have done for other people. If you go to my website on the testimonial page, I have videos, audios, and letters from different individuals, teams, organizations, businesses. And if you ask me, how effective are you? I said, go call these people. They put their phone number and email and name. That's a good evidence. How you be effective in coaching? Yeah, Marsha, the second part of the question was how you be effective?
Yes, and explain how the OD professional can coach effectively, but how do organizations help individuals participate in coaching process effectively?
Very good. It's all on you. You have to be informed. You have to be educated. You have to know your work. You have to have a good testimonials and records. And you have to tell the truth. In my initial meeting with the organization, I always tell them it's hard. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to be at least 1 year work, at least. Sometimes 2 or 3 years of work to make this. And you have to really back your mouth with technology, academic support, and scientific support. So I always, in my handouts, when I send for meeting, I explain what OD is and what OD is not. Explain what effective communication is. I explain what active listening is. I explain what action research is. I explain what appreciative inquiry and coaching is. Send them 6, 7, 8 pages of information before I sit and meet with them. Then I say it's mandatory. First meeting after we sign a contract is I have a meeting with almost everyone, from the owner and CEO to person who cleaned the floor. I explain what we are about to take on, and I need them to be my partner and let them know OD work from bottom up. That is the best thing you can tell people, that I'm counting on you. When I do data collecting, I go from individuals to focus group and talk to everyone. It takes almost a month to just collect the data. Forget about diagnosis and analysis. That is the fact that OD is a bottom-up approach. Enroll a lot of people to be part of it. And I make a promise in confidentiality. And I have a short legal confidentiality document that everybody sign, that everything they tell me is absolutely confidential, not used anywhere else, and whatever I told them also stay confidential. Again, I can talk a lot about how to do it, where to do it, and who to talk to, but that's a lot of information. I hope I answered questions as much as I could.
So, Professor, due to time, we have to conclude. Thank you. We have a lot more questions in the chat, but we will send the answers through email to the attendees who asked those questions. Thank you very much. We will share the questions with you
Thank you for the
afterwards.
opportunity. I appreciate everything you have done. I love Dr. Wesley Donahue. He was my professor in several of my classes, and everybody else. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your commitment to this matter, and I hope to see you guys again or do another program for you.
Yes, thank you. Professor Dr. Benham Bakshande, thank you so much. On behalf of our OD&C, Workforce Education and Development Program, we hope you have enjoyed this session. If we did not answer your questions, as I've mentioned before, please send us an email or reach out to the presenter directly via email, or he sent you his phone number so you can call him as well. For the future webinar, we would like you to hear your feedback on today's webinar. Please take the survey using the link in the chat. However, there's an error with the link, so I will email the link to you all who attended this presentation. Our next webinar is using your everyday OD skills to save the planet. It will be presented by Dr. Matt Minahan and will be held on September 27, 2024 from noon to 1 Eastern Time. If you want to register for this event, it is all free for everyone and it can be found on our website. You can also find us on our social media platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good day and a good night. And to our guests from overseas, see you soon. Thank you.